Hi, this is a 1990 Ford Transit GL Autosleeper that I just recently bought, and I'm going to do this video on all the modifications and the problems that we had when we got into it. First of all, the catch didn't open, so we had to use this hook on a screwdriver to actually get into under the bonnet. That all rusted away and didn't open at all. The batteries both had to be changed, including the leisure battery and the normal battery. The sill is completely rusted and rotting away, so that had to be fixed. I'll show you later how that was done. And this is just a general tour of the first view of the van. Basically, the curtains like awful. The upholstery is kind of dirty in places. The radios, put that radio in, there was no radio. There was some damp behind the seats. The boiler is broken, replaced by an electric one, which we're going to rip out. But the fridge did work. It's a 3-way Electrolux fridge which works on gas, hookup and 12-volt battery, so that was a nice surprise. Up here is the control panel for the fuses and the electrics, which still works, including the pump. The sink needed a good clean out, no hot water tap, and the stove was in okay condition, but all working, so that was great. The old boiler I pretty much had it. It wasn't attached. The gas line had been cut, and it was replaced with this electric one, which can only be used during a hookup. So it's not really practical if you're out and about. So we're going to change that one for a gas boiler later on. That was the old fire safety guard for the boiler, and you can see the bathroom is in a bit of a state. It's kind of really dated curtain and just needs a good clean out, so that will be also taken care of. The door doesn't also close properly. There's water as we walked the door. Yeah, it's a bit stiff, so yeah, not ideal. But that will get fixed. And that horrible curtain, I can't tell you, that was a pleasure to rip that out and get rid of that. It's difficult recording this because the camera was broken. I didn't know at the time, so I'll have to overlay the voice on pretty much everything I'm doing, and I can't remember what's coming next, obviously. So. It has also a gas heater down there, propane gas heater with storage above, and you can get a good look at the old curtains, which are awful, truly are awful. And we dealt with some damp here. There was water coming in, we had to find it. We could tell from this rotten wood below, so traced it back to the source, which was the electrical hookup. The plastic was broken around the casing, so the source of the water was down here where the electrical hookup is. So we ripped that out, replaced it, and dried out all the water ingress which made its way along the carpet. This old unit all had to come out, along with that disgusting pull down blind, which was full of like dirt and grease. I just ripped that out completely. The old gas fire boiler wasn't working at all, and it had already been cut from the source, so I think it was the original boiler in the van, which 36 years old in fact. It was probably well past its sell-by date anyway. So we're going to rip that out and replace it. Inside the bathroom was kind of disgusting. I had to rip out all the old sink unit and the mirror and cabinets because they were just way past their time, and it kind of they didn't really work anymore. So the sink was leaking and the tap didn't work, so that had to go. This is the old gas fire, which was original with the van and actually still works. We've got it working, replaced the ignition switch, and it kicks out a lot of really nice heat, which will be important on the cold days. and we actually used it while working in the van afterwards. It actually works really well, and it was occasionally had my assistant visiting me when I did the van, and he was more than happy to come and check it out. Eventually, of course, he wanted me to go in first. After asking him to go in, he refused, so I gone in, and then as soon as he gets in, he'll find the comfiest seat going. It will take him a bit of time though. Here he comes, does his little checks, and then he goes for the best seat in the whole place. Just hops up, and there he is. He's happy to be there. So I pulled out this disgusting blind. It was awful, absolutely awful. That will replace that completely. Here's Marlo again. The radio was on and Highway to Hell was playing, but obviously it didn't record the sound. It was kind of funny because it was the first song the radio played when I hooked it up. It's a complete mess, but the leak is sealed, so now the seats can be rebuilt and put back into place, and there'll be no more damp or any water ingress or problems from that. So that's all going to go back into place. And you can see now as well, I've ripped out all the backing there and the blinds because I needed to in order to get to the access point for the new water boiler which is going inside. We actually bought one prematurely which was too big, so I had to send it back, and I'm glad I did because the new one, as you'll see, was a lot better situated, smaller, and it worked really well. So it was a better choice. So now all the water has been fixed down here, we are putting back together the seating to go back and cleaning it up as well, to rebuild it because it never goes exactly back in the way that it came out. And also these horrible retro looking lights are going to be thrown away too, or I might reuse the bulbs and make something new with them, I don't know yet. But so yeah, now the boiler's fully out, you can see through to the bathroom, and then that panel will be reused, but the new boiler will fit into place there, and something might have to be put here in order to protect it from the heat. That's where the speakers are, so it's important that they don't get affected by the heat from the water boiler. And I had to rip out all the... So we added a piece of sheet metal to the outside of the top of the bonnet, and then used adhesive and screws to make a watertight space. The adhesive that we used was a water repellent, so once the plastic casing goes back on that, it should be quite good. Back to the gas appliance. I've now put the board back in and made the connections stronger. I had to adjust the pipes using these yellow new pipes and readjust the flows, so there is actually no cold tap anymore in the shower, and there is no hot tap on the sink in order to keep the water pressure fast for the shower to work. So it's a new year and a new GoPro and new curtains, because we have ripped off these curtain railings from the old scummy horrible curtains here like this, because you can't buy these. The guy bespoke this exact railing, and making new curtains with this material that we bought online, so that should look really good. So the next step in the journey is fitting the curtains, and let me tell you that Satan himself designed these curtain fixtures, because it is a pain in the backside to get them in and get them to stay in place. It's so tight in there. unbelievable. So I'm in the process of fitting some extra lights in the cab, and I somehow blew up the electrics by miswiring the switch for the lights into the main light socket. So basically taking 3 points of electrical load off the same line. So I'm wondering if that's the reason why that happened. Okay, so this is new GoPro and new van. Like, the difference is amazing. So this was the gas boiler that we installed. Once hot water moves through the system, it goes from extremely cold to extremely fucking hot within a second, and it passes through here into the new bathroom. Well, new, I say new, nothing's really changed except for this panel and the shower head. All this existing system was used. There was nothing added in there except for the new boiler and new flue. So that's great. So you can fit flexi pipe without being gas certified, and that's what had to happen here for the fitting of the new boiler, because the original pipes were too small to fit onto the connection for the new boiler. So the old copper pipe was ripped out and replaced. Got the new blind replacing that nasty, horrible, skanky, grease-filled one that was on there when I bought it. Reconnected these speakers, put some clothing hooks above the door, new curtains. The curtains are fantastic. The fabric matches, I think, the sofas, and really nice effect and good finish on those. Made a new box here to control the lighting, and USB ports with a readout on this. This was just an old cigarette lighter I took from a car, cut the back off and then wired it in to the wiring of a light switch, and also added LED lighting behind the cab here on the bed. Removed a load of unnecessary hooks from the like, there was a spling section right here which was a storage, I guess, for the cab back and front. So that's a huge double bed with that lighting there. I think that's kind of nice, that effect. I replaced all the other lights with high power LED ones, which are really like kind of dentist grade lighting. So yeah, it's kind of blinding. And then also made this other little light, reading light, from an old piece of tree that I cut down. I don't know why exactly it is that shape, but I don't know, maybe it looks good, maybe it doesn't. And yeah, everything else all sorted and ready to go. And when I've painted the outside, I'll update a new video with all the stuff, but for now it's pretty much ready to use, ready to go, and so I'm happy and on budget. Yeah, thanks for watching. So at the dashboard, I've got my Hike Mo sticker from Cody. Thanks. If you send me any stickers, if you feel like sending me any stickers, I'll put them here, and we'll add you to the next video I do when the van's fully finished and I've used it for a couple of days. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.